I've got a few things to share today. I've got some happy mail, and then I've got some, I don't even know what to call it. I don't know if it's like a what's on my desk, or a works in progress, or a visual brain dump, or I don't know. We're just going to look at some stuff. And first of all, what we're going to look at is this happy mail that I got from Dawn Collins. She is Draw Tangles with Dawn on YouTube. And she sent me some of her original Dawn Tangles. This is what I call her drawings. Every time I see her on YouTube, they're just Dawn Tangles to me. And I mean, not only can she draw them, but she can color them in as well, which seems a little unfair. Did she just get all the skills? Is this why some of us are struggling? Because Dawn got them all? She can draw them and color them in? I don't know. Obviously, she's very skilled. And these are precious to me, Dawn. Thank you. This was like true happy mail. Was not expecting it. It just showed up, and it literally made my day. And she, of course, she included just the sweetest note. So thank you very much, Dawn. I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to use these. I am going to use them. I don't know in what. Maybe a journal or something. I'm not sure, but they're too precious not to use. That kind of thing. So yeah, I really do I want to honor them by using them in some way. So thank you very much again, Dawn. I appreciate that. Okay, so what else has been going on? You know, these are the Q-tips holders that I have literally all over my art room because they're just perfect for holding, you know, little fodders and things that I'm working on. I love these, and I don't even bother decorating them because I don't really see the point. They're just to hold stuff, and that stuff changes, and then if I get tired of it, I can just throw it away. So I don't decorate them, but I do use them, and I use them a lot. We have extremely clean ears at my house because I think this is like the 750 count Q-tip or something. So you could probably eat off our ears. They're just that clean. So, but anyway, I was looking at this the other day, and then I was making, you know, these, and I thought, I wonder why I don't just make one of those out of this. So I did. So I made a Q-tip holder out of paper tubes. No, I didn't. I made a little Q-tip holder shaped organizer out of paper tubes. So, I mean, it's basically just like little boxes that I've been making, but without a lid and a little different size so that I can put pins and stuff in it. And this just sits by the chair in my living room so that I can, you know, grab a pen and a notepad when I need one. In that same vein, with the paper tubes, I'm also making paper beads. I've got these are paper beads that doesn't look right. Oh, it's not. That's misfiled. Okay, these are made out of, what am I trying to say? Eco prints. Just some eco printed pages. There's some of those that, you know, they didn't print quite right. They just made weird color blobs, and they were okay, but not awesome. So I made them into paper beads. And then some of them I just put a clear sealer on, and then others, let me pull some of these out. You can see that they've got kind of a frosty, it actually looks kind of green, and that's because I sealed them with some nail polish that was like a frosty blue. So, you know, the frosty blue mixed with the sort of yellow that it was originally, and it ended up with this lovely frosty green. So, super cool. And I've been using a lot of nail polish on my paper beads lately because I've been picking some up at the Dollar Tree. I like the glitter ones, like the silver and the gold. They just add just a little bit of shine to the paper bead, and you know, nail polish is a really good sealer. So, you know, to kill two birds with one stone, you seal it and you kind of decorate it a little bit. And I found that they're clear. They've had for 50 cents. Okay, y'all, 50 cents for a little thing of clear nail polish, and this is excellent for paper beads. This is probably cheaper priced per bead. In fact, I know that it is, but it's also a different finish. You know, nail polish gives kind of a thicker, hard finish as opposed to some of the brush-on sealers, unless you're using like a triple thick sealer or whatever. But anyway, I think that's just a good deal. Plus, I always look for like the weird colors. Okay, this one, let me shake it up. Hopefully you can see it. And I can see it's a Sally Hansen nail polish, but you can look at it and you can tell, oh yeah, I can see how that ended up at the Dollar Tree. I just think that was probably a hard sell right there. It's not awful, but it's just kind of different. The chunks in there they're big. You'd have you some big honking nails just to accommodate those embellishments. So yeah, it was $1.25. And so I've been using it on my paper beads because I've been making a lot of paper beads. These are, okay, this bowl was one of those, it was like a plastic, I can't even tilt it up enough for you to see it without spilling my beads. It was a plastic Halloween candy tub, you know, I mean bright orange, like seriously awful. And I just, I glued some book pages on it, and then I painted it with something. It wasn't that long ago, and I have no memory of exactly how I did it. But anyway, that's all it is, because I needed a big bowl, because I've got a lot of beads. And this sits on a little table in my living room, and about once a day, I just walk in and do this. Doesn't that sound awesome? I know, it feels even better. You should feel it. So yes, I have made every single one of these beads. They were all rolled by my little hand. There's some scrapbook papers. They're mostly magazine pages. There's probably some book pages in here. There may be a few that have been embellished, but most have just gotten the dollar store glitter nail polish treatment. Let me see if I can find one that has that blue, that weird blue nail polish. Because on some of the beads, like it worked really well. You know, you just have to pick the right bead for it. And all the ones I'm seeing were not the right bead for it. Most of these just have a clear finish on them. And they've got everything from polyacrylic to brush-on craft sealers. A lot of them I just dipped in wood hardener. I think I have a video for that. That is by far the most efficient way to seal your beads, because you can string them on a string. Just dip the whole string in the wood hardener, let it dry. They do not stick together. And there are very few things that you can dip your paper beads in that will not make them stick together, but that's one of them. Okay, I'm giving up on my search for cool beads with that one polish, but there's some not necessarily cool ones, but okay ones. Is that even showing up? I can't tell. But yeah, those have that weird blue nail polish that deserves to be at the Dollar Tree. So why am I making this many 1-inch bicone beads? These are all the same shape. This is the bicone shape. They're all 1 inch approximately, and it's because I do have a plan for them. My dress form Audrey needs new clothes. I am tired of looking at her the way she is. I hope that while I'm talking you're seeing a picture of her. I think I've got one that I can upload. but she is wearing, her beaded skirt is actually a table skirt that I made for a craft show, and I just haven't done that for a while, and so it was just not being used, so I wrapped it around her like a little hula skirt made out of paper beads, and I really like that look on her, but it needs some work, you know, that it's, like I said, it's a table skirt that she's got wrapped around her. It's not a beaded skirt. So I want to make her not just a beaded skirt, but a whole new beaded outfit. And I'm going to need a lot of beads to do that. And I've got an idea in my head of how I'm going to do it. And this is kind of, these out of the way. This is kind of what I think I'm going to try to do. These are paper beads that I have woven together just with some thread, and then I sewed them, or just kind of tacked them onto this to make a little journal cover. But I don't know if you could tell, see how they're woven together? I think that I can make her an outfit doing this with those beads. I'm a little concerned about some areas of her, the chest area, because it's really like that a lot. I don't know how I'm going to construct that out of the beads. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work, because I really don't sew. Like if I had a pattern and all, I don't know if I could even make it work. I'm not sure. But I'm going to try this. I'm going to weave some of those beads together and see if I can make her a whole new outfit, top to bottom. I may do the skirt like this and then do some free-flowing beads around it. I just don't know. But that's what those bajillion beads are for. That's the plan anyway. Now, if I get overwhelmed and decide it's just too much and give up on it, then I might just make about 1 billion of these books and get rid of. I am going to put some pages in there at some point. It's just not really a priority right now because I got things on my mind. One of those things is, okay, gosh, what to show first? I think, let's do this. This is another one of these, it's kind of a percolating idea. It hasn't been fleshed out yet, but I'm working on it. And this is some packaging. Show you the first one I did. Okay, let me show you this one because I was just cleaning paintbrushes off on here. And I don't know if you can you tell what kind of product packaging it is? If you know, you know, right? Some of you are going to go, oh yeah, I know exactly what that is. Anyway, I painted, that one's painted, kind of, sort of, like I said, I was really just cleaning my brushes off on it, but I'm going to finish it out. This one, they were different brands, so, okay, for those who don't know, it's coffee pods. It's the little box. You can see this is how you're supposed to open it with this, and then I don't do that. I just open the whole end of the box because I don't want to mess with that. I don't need that. I take them out of this and then I put them in this little organizer that I have. So I buy the small, like 12 count boxes so that I can get several different flavors for us to have. And this one I got at Walmart, and this is what made me do this. Because, when I took the package apart, opened it up, got my pods out, and I was looking at it, and it had these slots right here. This is these were already cut right there and right there. And I just immediately went, oh, this needs to be like a little journal. So, yeah, I cut off the flaps, and I ran these little ribbons through here, because they fit. And my plan is to, this is going to go probably like this, and this is going to go probably like this. I don't know if one's going to be a pocket or if this one will fold open. I don't know. But this needs to go here because these need to be glued down here. And then I'll put pages here. And then, see, you've got like this automatic little tie thing, and the holes and the little slots were already poked. So it's like Walmart wanted me to turn this into a book. So I thought that was super fun. So then I got another package a couple days ago, but it was not Walmart. It's the Great Value brand from Walmart that has the little slots like that. These I got, I think, from Aldi. Yeah, I am not a coffee snob. You know, I mean, I do enjoy me a Starbucks now and then, but I'm not going to pay to have Starbucks at my house. It's too expensive. Coffee serves a purpose. That is to caffeinate me. So, Great Value brand caffeinates me just fine. And besides, I don't really taste the coffee because I use so much creamer in it. It's just there to heat up my creamer. So I don't care what the coffee tastes like. Yeah, totally not a coffee snob. Okay, this one was exactly like this one, only I left the flaps on. I didn't take them off. It does not have the fancy little slots, little holes in it, but it has lots of potential here, you know, with the flaps on. And it's naked because I peeled off the paper. Did I save it? Did I save my trash? Oh, no, but it's at the top of the trash can. Okay, because it was like this. You know, that was what was on the box. That's my fancy, super cheap Aldi coffee. And then I just peeled this off, which wasn't difficult. You know, it's cheesy cardboard. It peeled off easily. And I did that, I don't even know why. You don't have to. I just did it just because. And it made the book a little thinner so that if I put collage papers on it, it won't get too thick to still fold up nicely. And I took that paper that I peeled off had kind of a slick finish on it, which would be weird with some paints. You know, it might cause some problems with paint sticking. So I just did away with that. So that's why it's bare on both sides. And here's what I'm thinking for this. I don't know if I'm going to keep all of these flaps, but this one, it would be just a cool, you know, fold out. And then I could do this and this. I could cut a slot right there so that fits down in there to close it. I don't know. Just thinking. This could be a pocket right there, you know, with a little, I'm not sure, but lots of ideas. These, I'm thinking, could be just a little pocket, maybe for a tag. I could slip a tag right there. And I don't know what that's going to be. Like I said, I could just end up cutting it off. I'm not sure. It's there, and I feel like I need to use it. Maybe I'll attach something to it so that it does that. I'm not sure. This, I might cut down to make it into another pocket. I could do, you know, a little slot. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but look how it folds up. It folds up really well. This is all, I just left this on here, and I had to, I just scored it so that I needed some thickness, because when you fold this up, you know, it gets kind of thick. So I just put an extra score line on there so that it would close nicely. So see, I mean, this is just waiting to be awesome. Is it just me, or is this just screaming, woo, I could be really awesome if you'll just do something with me? I think it is. So yeah, if you buy coffee pods, pick up some of the 12-pack size, you know, the K-cups. If you pick up the 12-count size, save your box, and then we'll figure out something to do with these. I think this will be fun. I just want to drop everything and do this right now, actually. So, yeah, that'll be fun. And then the next thing I'm going to show, I mentioned the other day in a shout-out video that I had watched 2 or 3 people make a magazine journal, or a little journal like this out of a magazine. I moved out all the way, am I not? Yeah. This is Wine Spectator, which is a little bit longer, or quite a bit longer actually, than your typical magazine. But I saw this on a couple people's channel. First one I watched was Tattered Edge Designs, and that's Diane, and I saw her, and I went, oh, I have to do that right this minute. And then she linked to a couple other people where she got the idea from, so I saw them, and then I kind of, you know, did it my own way. They gave instructions for how to do it, and I'll do a video, you know, when I get a little further into this, or when I decide where I'm going with it, and I'll show you how I did it, and link to their videos so that you can see the real way you're supposed to do it, because I went a little off the beaten path. But you just start with the magazine, you keep it bound, and you pull out pages here and there, and then you fold pages that are left. And I didn't keep in as many as they did. You know, I pulled out a lot more than they did in their videos. And then I folded them in half, I glued them together, I reinforced with some masking tape, and then these weird labels that I had from work that I've got a ton of them and I don't know what to do with them. So, you know, they make good reinforcements if nothing else. And then you can do this flap closure. That's what the other ladies did, where you can put a thing here and wrap around, or again, do a slot where that can go in there. I don't know. I haven't got that far yet. But this is going to be fun. And, okay, I have some ideas for it. But before I show you that, I want to show you, because remember I said I pulled out a lot of pages, because, you know, there's not many left. And then I went through a few of them, had some things that I wanted. I took some words and phrases off of them. And then the rest of them, I was left with just like the stack of magazine pages. And I'd already harvested them. I got the images I wanted off of them. And I thought, all right, what am I going to do with those? They're basically trash. I can throw them in the recycle bin. I can use them to line my work area, you know, to paint on. Or I can sew them together into a whole other magazine. And that's what I did. So, yeah, these are just the pages that I took out of this magazine. And then, you know, I have the big, heavy-duty sewing machine that'll sew through skin and bone and pretty much anything else. So it wasn't a problem to go through this stack of pages. I just sewed them together. I folded them in half. I did, you know, trim the top and bottoms so that everything was nice and neat. But now I've got this second tall, skinny thing that I don't know what to do with. And this is just the guts of whatever it's going to be. It's going to need some kind of a cover on it at some point. But I don't know where to go with it, what to do with it. I was thinking maybe I could put it, you know, bind it into there and make it a part of that. It's smaller because I did cut it down. When I pulled the pages out of this magazine, you know, I just yanked them out. They had frayed edges and they were kind of a mess. And then when you fold a lot of pages over like this to bind, you get what's known as creep. And so the pages, you know, your edges are not smooth. So I had to cut the creep off. That's basically what I did. Anyway, I like the long skinny thing in both of these situations. And this really, what these reminded me of, and it was kind of really weird that it happened this way, because it reminded me of a couple things. One is this and this, and these were just paint wipe-off books, you know, where you clean your paintbrushes. I've always got some kind of a bound book near my work surface that I use to wipe excess paint off of my paintbrushes before I put them in the water, because I just don't want to waste that tiny bit of paint in there. There's just that teeny bit left in the brush. I need that. And I need it for these. So, and then sometimes I'll go back in, you know, when they're finished, which means I'm kind of tired of looking at them and I want to move on to some, you know, different book. That's how they're finished. And then sometimes I'll go back in and I'll glue stuff in them, or I'll add, you know, like I'll circles on them or whatever. So they're almost like little painty journal things. This is another one. This was an American Science and Surplus catalog, and it was a paint wipe-off book. And then I have gone back here and there, and I've glued papers in, scrap papers, and I think there's probably some product packaging, some magazine pages, you know, just whatever. And I love these. These are truly journals for no reason, which brings me to the second thing that those tall, skinny journals reminded me of, and that is the Zibaldones, or Commonplace books that I made several years ago. And it was really strange that that happened because I have just recently started seeing several videos mentioning commonplacing, and a couple mention Zibaldones, and that's not something you hear very often. And let me link, I will put a link to the video where I talked about them years ago. And I also have a blog post that I'll link to that kind of explains in human language, you know, what a commonplace book is and a Zibaldone is. And it's basically, both of them, the Zibaldone especially, is just a hodgepodge book. And commonplace books are the same thing. It's just kind of a place for notes and pictures and drawings, and sometimes they're, you know, a little bit organized, but it's not chronological. It's more almost like a bullet journal, where you have, you know, this is your section for this, and this is your section for that, and this is your section for this, but it's not necessarily in order. And that is a commonplace book. And a Zibaldone, it has basically the same kind of content, but it is less organized. It is more chaotic and random, which speaks to my little soul. So that's what these were. And there again, it's just, it's, you know, product packaging and magazine images and scraps of painted whatever. And it just really makes no sense, and I really love this. Now, if I was a journaler, there would be all kinds of written notes in here, but I almost never journal with words. My journaling is always visual. So, and these are both those American Science and Surplus catalogs. I wonder if do they still offer those? I'm going to have to go to the website and see, because they're fun to read, because whoever does their copywriting is hilarious. But also the size and shape of them, they're just really fun to repurpose. This was another one, and I just glued some of the pages together and pulled a lot of them out because I wanted it thinner for whatever reason. And it's just another, just stick whatever in wherever. And I must have been really sick. I get sick about every 5 or 6 years, and that's about it. But man, I was putting away the Ricola and the herbal tea. See, you can journal without having to write anything down. I don't have to write that, ooh, I was sick, because it's pretty darn obvious. Okay, so yeah, that's what that is. And then this was another really just kind of eventually I started I got tired of saying commonplace book because it's such a mouthful. So I called them journal for no reason, for short. Yeah, I know it's longer, but it rolls off my tongue easier. So these were kind of my first journals for no reason. This, I think, was a anthropology catalog that I just went in and kind of altered some of the pages and then added some stuff to it as well. And kind of, you know, did some kind of sort of doodles, drawing around some of the pictures. So these are all what in my mind is my version. Is definitely not the actual definition of a commonplace book. These are my version of a commonplace book. And I'm kind of thinking that may be where I go with this one or this one. And I'm really kind of curious to see what everyone else is going to do, what kind of commonplacing they're going to do. Since it's just kind of, it's one of those things, everything is kind of cyclical. It just kind of, it's in style, and then it goes out of style. And then it comes back. Case in point, macrame. Who knew, right? That's like the cool thing now. And I was doing that in the 70s. So, yeah. Commonplace books are apparently back. And I am apparently on board with that. I think that's all I have to show. I just wanted to kind of do a, here's what's on my mind. Because every time I do that, y'all always end up giving me ideas that I didn't even think of. So if you've got an idea for anything that I've shown or any kind of, comment about that, just let me know. Leave it in the comment section. I read every stinking one of them. Even the not nice ones I read. So yes, I will read and hopefully respond to your comment. I do try to do that. So that's all I've got for today. Y'all, yep, I'm looking around thinking, okay, what did I forget? I think I got it all. You know what? Let's end with this. Yeah, let's just end with this. I need to make like an audio file where you can just listen to this, and one where I don't constantly interrupt by speaking. The end.